believe that the first civilization came out of America or out of Africa? Because there is a lot of discussion going on right now that people are saying that the first civilization came from the Americas instead of the Africa. What do you think? The name Atlantis and Lemuria are one of those names and countries that people refer to. And I need to say that there are a lot of legit evidences and facts that really make me think, you know? One of the points that I have heard people saying is that why in Americas you have a lot of ancient pyramids. The biggest pyramids is in Americas, and in Africa you don't have anything except in Egypt. I think it's a valid point if you didn't been to Africa yet. I did, so I'm going to explain why I say it's something that we need to rethink. I'm from the Caribbean, Central America, and the name Caribbean started from my island. So the island Curacao and Aruba, Bonaire, they were the first countries or islands that were named Caribbean. They call our islands the Lesser Antilles, and I will explain the name Antilles, where it comes from, and how it came to be. So what is happening is that in our island, there is an ancient story about a flood and how when the flood happened that the people fled to the mountains, the top of the mountains. After I done a little bit of research, I found out that Atlantis, Lemuria, all of it were in our surrounding, the Caribbean and two more areas. When I was doing some research, I also discovered that the most pyramids are in our region, Central America and a little bit of South America. I also discovered that there is something that NASA is calling energy point, X points, but they are also portals. In our area, you have the most X points, energy points, portals in the whole world, like thousands. While in Africa, you don't have a lot except in Northern Africa. So I understand that there is a lot of confusion regarding the ancientness of the civilization and where it comes from. Some say it's from Americas, some say Africa, but it's always one of those two. But what do I think? What I think is this. I come from the Caribbean, small island called Curacao. I live in Europe. I travel to Africa all the time. And what I've noticed is that the difference between Americas and Africa is that in Americas, there is a lot of digging going on for ancient artifacts, for ancient buildings, while in Africa, there is no digging going on. If there is digging going on, it's only for gold and for precious minerals. But when it comes to digging for ancient civilizations, it's not being done. And what you see is that in areas like Israel, Egypt, everywhere where they dig, you get a great civilization beneath the ground. So I believe that as long as the government doesn't give permission to dig for ancient civilizations in Africa, we will not be able to make the comparisons. We will not be able to know, because there is a restriction on digging, in most of Africa. So I believe that the first thing that we need to do is start digging, because all the knowledge and all the greatness comes from digging in the past. Because the fact is that we are the dumbest civilization of history. Before us, there was a civilization that had free energy. They didn't need to pay for food. They didn't need to pay for electricity, all of it. It was a self-sufficient based civilization. And right now, if you see, we don't even know normally how to hold a pen, if it makes sense what I'm saying. If you ask me, great civilizations were around the world. If you see even in China, what they find, and if you ask me, if you see the structures that they have in Asia, it's unmatched around the world. Literally unmatched. Nowhere on earth you will find building structures that are this complex. So I believe that the civilization before our civilization was global, and where it started, no one will ever know, because the civilization before us, prior to us, goes back hundreds of thousands of years. We are finding artifacts that are millions of years old. So this means that civilization is millions of years old, millions, maybe 100 to 300 million year old. We will never know how it started 100 million years ago, 1 million years ago. We will never know what really happened, because if we be honest and take a look at how we discover ancient civilizations, it's by digging, right? And the more we dig, the farther we go, the more we find, if it comes down to ancient civilization. So and we didn't even touch the soil of an civilization that is like 300,000 years ago, except they found bones of black people that are 1.7 million years old. This means that civilization goes back more than 1.7 million years old. For me, if you ask me, the whole discussion about where civilization started, I think we should approach it differently. What do you think? But family, you know what the good thing is about all of these discussions is that people are awakened. People want to know what is happening. People want to know what is the truth, what is the reality. Because with all of the stories, discoveries, researches that are coming out right now, it changes people's perspective of reality. You know, a few days ago, I was sitting outside, looking at the stars, and because of the amount of information that I got the past few years, I was thinking, what am I looking at? What is this that I'm looking at? Because what we have been told, you know, how it looks like, that it's a lie, you know, that's it. It's a lie. However, that's a video for another time. What I want to know is, family, what do you think about Atlantis, the story of Atlantis, and where civilization originated? I think it's, I will let you know in the next video. Let me know what you think, how or what. And I see you in the next video, family. Later.